Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from two important newspapers. The first being the Hindu and the other Indian Express. The most important news and editorial of the day that is relevant for both prelims and mains examination perspective will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with news topic list. Today is 19th of July. The first news is Center constituted a panel on the minimum support price and natural farming. Second, SEO and stature in the modern world. Third, crypto laws need a global teamwork, a statement coming from the finance minister. Fourth, regulation of the medical devices. This is from the explained page of the Indian Express. And the last is an editorial, the India's climate imperative, right? Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And before that, if you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful for your examination, do not forget to press a like button. So the first news of the day, that is Center constituted panel on MSP and natural farming, something important for General Studies paper 3 under the topic issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies, minimum support price and public distribution system. So Center has recently constituted a committee headed by former Union Agriculture Secretary to look into the issues of minimum support price for the agriculture produce and also how India can augment the natural farming, right? So these are the main issues that has been assigned to the committee. Now members from संयुक्त किसान मोर्चा जो SKM है उसके members को भी incorporate की गई है. 3 members will be part of this committee and this will these SKU morcha was basically they have come up with the protest when 3 farms law were there, right? So under the umbrella SKM, thousands of farmers had held a year-long agitation in Delhi. पूरी तरह से उन्होंने agitate किया था Delhi और NCR के region में, and they forced government to basically withdraw the farms law. Now the government has decided to give them a stake, and they will be the part of the committee. 3 members इनकी तरफ से appoint किए जाने हैं. The Agriculture Ministries issued a gazetted notification announcing the setting up of committee in this regard. Now, panel members की अगर बात करें, although this is not that relevant for examination, but कुछ basics आपको पता होने चाहिए. Individual के नाम आपको ना भी पता हो तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. The panel will comprise नीति आयोग members, agri-economists from Indian Institute of Economic Development, IIM Ahmedabad, and Commission for Agriculture Cost and जो prices CACP के जो seniors members हैं वो इनके panel के members हों. Now the seniors member of agriculture universities, 5 central government secretaries, chief secretaries of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Sikkim, Odisha are part of this committee. So these are again the member that would be giving their insights to the committee members, and finally what recommendation is coming in the due course of time, we'll also discuss that. Now task क्या क्या assign की गई है committee को, तो कुछ 3 important aspects पे task assign की गई. Among them, the first is on the MSP, that to suggest and ways to make how MSP is available to farmer by making it effective and transparent, right? This is the first task that has been assigned to the committee. On the same MSP, there's how they can give autonomy to the CSCP also. So these are the 2 part on the MSP aspects. Now other 2 is natural farming and the crop diversification. In natural farming, the strategy to turn कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र जितने कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र हैं and other research institution knowledge centers on the natural farming and setting up a laboratory for organic certification. तो ये 2 टास्क दिए गए, इन पे इनको insights देनी है, अपने inputs देनी है. Now crop diversification, map existing crop patterns and suggest a system that ensure the remunerative prices to farmers for the sale of the new crop. So these are the major area, the broad area that I've discussed. ये कुछ important task हैं जो कि assign किए गए हैं members को. So if you're writing in mains paper, you have to specifically write a bullet point highlighting all 3 aspects. Now moving ahead, SCO and its stature in modern world, something important for General Studies paper 2 under the topic Bilateral Regional Grouping and Agreement involving India's and affecting India's interest. So इस पूरे जो एडिटोर ये जो एक पेज है न्यूज़ है इसके टेक्स्ट को समझने से पहले आपको ये समझना ज़रूरी है ये न्यूज़ अपेयर क्यों है. Recent में Iran and Belarus has come up with the newest membership for SU which is backed by China and Russia. And recent में मीटिंग होनी है September 22. That is Samarkand which is there in Uzbekistan will adopt a document जहाँ पे ईरान अपने fulfill जो members हैं ईरान और बेलारूस they would be part of this basically SCO, right? तो वो पूरी formalities जो हैं वो upcoming मीटिंग में पूरी होंगी. Now the legal process for the Belarus accession is about to start also. Now SCO के बारे में कुछ basics which again can be important for prelims. So this founded way back in 2001 जिसको संघाई 5 के नाम से भी जाना जाता है, consist of countries like Russia, China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. Now they come together as a post-Soviet era in 1996 and work on the regional security, reductions of border troops and terrorism. तो ये ग्रुपिंग में 8 मेंबर्स को बाद में इंक्लूड किया गया. अदर 3 वर इंक्लूडेड इंडिया, कजाकिस्तान, चाइना, किर्गिस्तान, पाकिस्तान, रशिया, ताजिकिस्तान एंड यूबेकिस्तान. सो ये कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट कंट्रीज हैं जो अभी मेंबर्स हैं. एंड SCO हैव 4 ऑब्जर्वर स्टेट आल्सो व्हिच इंक्लूड Afghanistan, Iran, Belarus and Mongolia, right? So now Iran and Belarus will be the part of the main countries. Now currently Iran and Belarus are moving towards a full membership. Now चार्टर की बात करें SCO की जो चार्टर है उसके क्या कोर एसेंस हैं क्या बातों पे बेसिकली SCO वर्क करती है. So the charter was actually adopted in St. Petersburg in 2002 that enlists some of the goals. The first goal is to strengthen the mutual trust and neighborhood among the member states. जितने member states हैं उसमें mutual trust बनाना और अपने neighborhood को help करना. Promoting effective cooperation in politics, trade, economy, research, technology and culture. Right? These are some of the other priority areas. If you're writing in mains paper, आपको एक-एक point specifically highlight करने पड़ेंगे. Its focus include education, energy, transport, tourism and environmental protections. It also called for a joint efforts to maintain and ensure peace, security, stability in the region and establishing for a democratic, fair, rational new international political and economic order. So these are some of the main charter of the SCO. और भी कुछ बातें हैं जो कि अब ऐड होंगी अभी नए खास करके जो मीटिंग होनी है, but these are almost the main charter that you have to write specifically if you're writing in mains paper. Now, looking into SCO and its relevance for India, India acquired observer status of the grouping way back in 2005 and it has been admitted as a full member in 2017. So आपको ये ध्यान रखना है इंडिया ने जब बेसिकली SCO में मेंबरशिप आई उससे पहले वो ऑब्जर्वर स्टेटस की कैटेगरी में थी. Although SCO hosts have encouraged members to use a platform where differences with other members are on the sideline. And India is a part of the quadrilateral grouping with US, Japan and Australia also in the Quad. Its association with the grouping is rather different nature as a part of foreign policy that emphasizes the principle of strategic autonomy and multi-alignment. Organization structure की अगर बात करें SCO की, how does the SCO function, क्या क्या इसके structures हैं. So SCO has a secretariat with 2 bodies, permanent bodies 2 हैं. एक तो इसकी secretariat है which is based in Beijing. The other is Executive Committee on Regional and Anti-Terrorism Structure known as RATS, which is based in Takshan, right? Of this, the grouping consists of the head of the state council, जिसको HSCB कहते हैं, and head of the government council, HGC, and the foreign minister council. So HSC जो है, that is the supreme decision making of this organization, and it meet annually to adopt decision and the guideline on all important matters relevant to the organization. तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की जो ज़रूरत चीज़ें हैं उसकी हाईएस्ट बॉडी डिसीजन मेकिंग बॉडी में हेड ऑफ द स्टेट काउंसिल आती है. Now, crypto law needs global teamwork, something important for General Studies Paper 3, Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource growth and development. So the finance minister has said that allowed to regulate a ban on cryptocurrency can be effective once there are some form of international agreement in place. दिस इज व्हाट द फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर हैज सेड. Currently, RBI ने भी ये बातों को रखा था जहाँ पे it has recommended a ban on the cryptocurrency which has a destabilizing effect and country की जो monetary health है और even जो fiscal health है उसको impact कर सकती है. Although government has also said that they will be coming with a digital currency very soon under the supervision of the RBI. So cryptocurrency is defined as a borderless and require international collaboration to prevent the regulatory arbitration. तो गवर्नमेंट ने इस रिगार्ड में क्या एफर्ट्स ली है, क्या लॉस की बात की गई है, किस तरह से रूल की बात की गई है खास करके क्रिप्टो करेंसी को लेकर के. सो द फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर कमेंट अज्यूम सिग्निफिकेंस एज दे सजेस्ट अ लेजिस्लेशन for renaming the activity on cryptocurrency which can be included in the parliament list of businesses. those sessions पिछले last years भी किए गए थे, but let's see how a conclusive action is being taken, whether this monsoon session is something. In view of the concern expressed by the RBI, destabilizing effects की अगर बात करें, cryptocurrency has the recommendation that forms the legislation to the sector. And RBI of the view that the cryptocurrency should be prohibited. तो RBI ने categorically इसको बेसिकली लाने से मना किया है और आरबीआई ने स्पेसिफिकली कहा है दैट इंडिया में डिजिटल करेंसी होनी चाहिए बट उसकी रेगुलेशन आरबीआई खुद करेगी. नाउ करंट स्टेटस की अगर बात करें क्रिप्टो में, सो रिसेंटली द यूनियन बजट हैज़ प्रपोज द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ डिजिटल करेंसी फॉर द कमिंग फाइनेंशियल ईयर एंड देयर इज नो लेजिस्लेशन दैट इंक्लूड क्रिप्टो करेंसी. कोई रेगुलेशन की बात की जाए तो इंडिया में कोई लॉ नहीं है जो रेगुलेट करती है. As of now, 30% tax on income for the virtual asset was announced. So these are some of the taxation policies that Government of India is implying with. Now, regulation on medical devices, something important for general studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from it, design and implementations. So recently, the Union Health Ministry has released a new draft on drug regulation, drugs, medical devices, cosmetic bill 2020 that call for separately defining the medical devices. What is the exact definition of medical devices that will be there in this bill? Make provision for the constitution of separate expert group on medical devices, call for setting up of central and state medical testing laboratories on line with the नेशनल ड्रग टेस्टिंग लेबोरेटरीज जैसे NIV पुणे हैं और भी लेबोरेटरीज हैं, उसी तर्ज पे स्टेट और सेंटर में और लेवल की बात की गई है एस्टैब्लिशमेंट की. Now the draft bill also suggests the central government formulate rules to regulate the online pharmacies. जो ऑनलाइन फार्मेसीज है, कंसल्टेंसीज हैं, उनको भी रेगुलेट करने की जरूरत है. सो विल सी डिटेल्स ऑफ एवरीथिंग. तो फीचर्स की अगर बात करें ड्राफ्ट बिल के, द ड्राफ्ट बिल प्रपोजेज द मेडिकल डिवाइस टेस्टिंग सेंटर्स in line with the drug laboratories that I've told you, जो सेंटर और स्टेट लेवल पे होंगी. The new bill proposes compulsory permission of the center licensing authority for any kind of clinical trial, clinical investigations of drugs and medical devices. ड्राफ्ट बिल में सेपरेट डेफिनेशन रखी गई है मेडिकल डिवाइस को लेकर के, अंडर विच डायग्नोस्टिक इक्विपमेंट्स, उनके जो सॉफ्टवेयर हैं, इम्प्लांट्स हैं, डिवाइसेस हैं, असिस्टेंट्स हैं, लाइफ सपोर्ट इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स और what's used for distinctions and any other reagents or kits will be taken into consideration. Now, the previous 1940 Act regulate the medical device as one of the 4 categories of the drug. Now, issues of e-pharmacies की अगर बात करें, बिल ने स्पेसिफिकली कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट आज कर जो खास करके एट प्रेजेंट कंटेक्स्ट 21st जनरेशन्स के जो ई कॉमर्स में खास करके अगर बात करें या फिर ई फार्मेसीज जिस तरह से ग्रो हुई है, यहाँ पे स्पेसिफिकली वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन द ई फार्मेसी. सो बिल टचेस upon the contagious issue of e-pharmacies which has a drug store owned and are hard to regulate, right? Basically these are the private entities they are regulating. तो इस पे अभी तक गवर्नमेंट ने कोई ऐसे रेगुलेशन नहीं लाई थी, but now they will be regulating it. So many do not have license and just sell the drugs as they are available to other licensed stockists, and they offer an online consultation and just prescribe medicine which are not a transparent mechanism. So the accountability has to set, right? If a doctor is giving you advice online, if the doctor is not authenticated, you see, for any doctor who is practicing in a hospital, you have to be rest assured that he's a MBBS doctor. And online consultation does not give a certification whether that doctor is certified or not. You cannot ask for certificate online, right? He will just give you the consultation and he'll charge his fee. So कुछ limitations हैं ई फार्मेसीज की, इसी वजह से गवर्नमेंट इस तरह के रेगुलेशंस लेकर के आई अपने ड्राफ्ट बिल में. Now, moving to the editorial of the day, that is India's climate imperative, something very important for General Studies Paper 3, that is conservation, environmental pollutions, degradation, and EIA. So I'll be simplifying this editorial under 5 important subheads. The first is global warming and its effects in India. Approach क्या ज़रूरत है, climate resilience कैसे होनी चाहिए, asserting the runway climate change and the way forward. The entire editorial focuses upon the global warming and its mitigations. So in absence of COVID-19 और climate change induced disasters की अगर बात करें, India is in the biggest red alert recent year. किस वजह से red alert की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ? The first is like if you see the climate change, it has scorches heat in Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and New Delhi. Torrent downpour हुई है South India में. Super cyclone Amphan, which has there in the West Bengal and Odisha. This symbolizes a man-made climate change. Right? This is something which is the resultant of human activities. Now, global warming effects in India की अगर बात करें, temperature over Indian Ocean has risen almost close to 1 degree Celsius since 1950, increased extreme weather events, and India has a 4th worst climate mitigation, right? पूरे अगर बात करें वर्ल्ड में, heat waves in India have claimed almost 17,000 lives since 1970, and labor losses arising from heat, one of the estimate could reach to 1.6 lakh annually if global warming exceed by 2 degrees Celsius, which is among the hardest hit. तो ये कुछ इसके हार्मफुल इफेक्ट होंगे ग्लोबल वार्मिंग के, जो अभी ही एविडेंट है. आने वाले टाइम में इसके नुकसान जो है, नेगेटिव कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज जो हैं, वो और ज़्यादा हाई हो सकती है. Now, approach की क्या ज़रूरत है? What are the approach that is essentially required? India need 2 approach. First is to adapt a climate impact by building resilience against the weather extremes, and second is to mitigate the environmental destructions to prevent climate change becoming more lethal. उसके अलावा अगर बात करें climate resilience की, climate resilience call for diversification. For example, cultivation of multi crops in the same farm. There's a need to be more localized food productions. Weather-based crop insurance will definitely help. Environmental impact assessment must be mandatory for the commercial project. तो ये कुछ climate resilience factors हैं, basically ऐसे inputs हैं जो कि incorporate करने की ज़रूरत है. Now, asserting the runway climate change, leading emitters apart from the other countries, India is also one of them, and move towards away from fossil fuel would be the priority for the government. और बात करें अगर climate mitigations की, everywhere it is painful slow because of the lack of the political will. Even India ने जो 2070 की बात की है globally net zero emissions की, which is also a slow target compared to other countries which has set 2050. Now, India gained from being part of the Glasgow Declarations on Forest Protection that 141 countries signed in 2021. Now, कुछ way forwards की अगर बात करें, climate finance is the most suited for large-scale global funding from the World Bank, International Monetary Fund और Asian Development Fund. तो इन इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस को भी बैकिंग करने की ज़रूरत है ताकि क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस ये करे और हर एक मेंबर्स स्टेट को ये मौका मिले कि वो अपने कंट्रीज़ में इस पर सुधार ला सके. India's share in disaster management has to be increased by 2.5% of the GDP. An important point to note if you're writing in mains paper. Now, मनरेगा की जो फंड है that can be used for climate adaptations in agriculture, waste management and livelihood. So these are some of the possible way out that given the context of the climate change, India can definitely adopt, right? So if you're writing specifically in main paper, आप इस तरह के points और भी points भी add कर सकते हैं इसमें. Now moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is A. For second question also the correct option is A. Today's MCQ for practice आपको बताना है Maritime Summit 2021. It focuses on upgradation of infrastructure and India aim to strengthen the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Denmark is a partner country for the 3-day visit or summit. So do check it out for the correct options. Second is Swachh Sarthi Fellowship. The Government of India Waste to Wealth Mission launched the Swachh Sarthi Fellowship. And Waste to Wealth Mission is one of the 9 mission of the Prime Minister Technology Innovation and Advisory Council. So do check it out for the correct option. This type of question might be again relevant for your prelims examination. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis. followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.